The next presentation is about the City Atelier. So through the Revalue project, we were looking to a new format to quicker align the plans of the real estate developers with the policy plans of the city. So therefore, we initiated the City Atelier in the Kai district together with the Revalue project. And if there is at the end of the Revalue project a positive evaluation, we will elaborate this format to the whole area of the city. So just to remind you, so the Kai district is a strategic fringe zone with active business, production and trade. And today it presents a somewhat messy appearance. So with a lot of warehouses, large parking areas, industrial buildings, stores for large scale retail and department stores. So at the time being, there's a very monofunctional use, inefficient space utilization, poor architecture and environmental design. So and there are still a lot of these large parking areas, a lot of concrete. So there's a lot of room for improvement. And as a director, the city aims to express its ambition to redevelop this transition area into a space with layered, diverse, multifunctional use, including housing, neighborhood supporting facilities, tourism as well, temporary use, sustainable logistics, and so on. So the economy will continue to have a place in the Kai district, but will be sustainably integrated with other urban functions. So the problem here is, or the challenge is, that the city doesn't own any land. So the development of the built heritage will therefore occur at the pace of the private parties. So we really have to work together with these parties, with the real estate developers. So therefore, the City Atelier could be a nice format. So we already made our dream image in the concept study a couple of years ago, a concept study for the Kai district. And so we now have a supported vision for potential implementation of the set ambitions of the city. The transition of the Kai district will occur step by step, as we don't own any land, and the vision will be adjusted along the way. And it already adjusted a little bit, so with new views from the city. Next to this, last year, the spatial policy plan for Bruges was conducted. So we had 5 ambitions as a strategic vision towards 2050. So we have the open space, who has to be central. We want to have a high quality grow. We have the living and diverse heritage we aim. We really focus on network of neighborhoods, and we want to be a magnet for the region. And next to this, we have 5 action-oriented policy frames as well, and a perspective of 2035. So we want to focus on activate green-blue framework, concentrate neighborhood dynamics, transform residential fabric, intensify campuses, and direct transformation spots. Transformation spots, they are really dynamic hotspots, areas in the city where there is a lot of interest of real estate developers, where something will happen in the near future. So the Kai district was identified as such a transformation spots. And in this policy plan already, there was mentioned to look for a new format to direct all these hotspots, all these transformation spots. So Kai district is one of the 3. So we also have the port of Bruges, and the railway station is another hotspot. So to align quicker all the ambitions of every stakeholder. So why the Kai district right now? So we have the concept study of the Kai district, spatial policy plan, and all these plans, they come together in Revalue, and it's in the Revalue project we want to test the City Atelier. So, and why the Kai district? I already mentioned as a Kai district as a hotspot, and there is a lot of interest of building and retail owners, from architects, real estate developers, to construct new buildings in the Kai district. And we already received from all the owners of the parcel with a number, a question or an interest for new construction. So what's the City Atelier right now? So it's a monthly meeting. The City Atelier is led by chairpersons of the city. For the Kai district, this is Jeroen and me, as we are responsible for the Revalue project. So the other attendants are the involved city departments like mobility, public domain, climate and environment, permit officer, the Department of Entrepreneurship, Youth, Heritage, Housing. But not everybody is asked for every City Atelier. There's a core group added with other colleagues depending on the content of the City Atelier. So it's an internal vehicle just with colleagues of the administration of Bruges. The difference with earlier way of working is that the permit officer now is just one of the experts, as much as responsibles for other departments like, for example, mobility. So as chairpersons of the City Atelier, we are responsible for the guidance phase. So it's one of the 3 large phases in a permit trajectory. About the framework conditions, the timeline and the flow, I will show you in the next slide. So in the pre-consultation phase, we also already involved. There, the head of the permit department welcomes the homeowner, the architect, or the real estate developer. And there we decide together whether the project is food for the City Atelier. And for this decision, we are following some criteria regarding a minimum of amount of building layers, for example, a minimum of entities and a minimum of floor surface. These are the 3 criteria. And in this pre-consultation phase, the visitors receive several documents. For example, a document with framework conditions regarding policy, all the policy plans and the spatial planning context of the city of Bruges. They also receive a document with the timeline. For example, 3 weeks before the City Atelier, every presenter or designing team has to submit his or her presentation, and this gives the members of the City Atelier the opportunity to prepare and to submit questions and remarks which can be handled by the design teams before their presentation during the City Atelier. There's also a document with the flow, so the responsibilities for all the stakeholders. So the real estate developers, for example, or the designer teams, or the colleagues, they they know what they have to do and what they have to deliver at every stage of the timeline in the City Atelier, and what are the responsibilities for everybody in this format. So during the City Atelier, so this is the guidance phase. There the City Atelier is taking the lead, and there is a presentation of the design team. Afterwards, there's an advisory meeting in the same large meeting, and at the end, an internal debriefing in order to come to a shared standpoint with all the colleagues of the administration. A report is sent to every member and the presenter, and sometimes more City Ateliers are needed. They could be assigned to one developer or to one development, depending on the complexity of the project, in order to come to a master plan or to a more detailed plan with a very broad support from the whole city administration. So between the City Ateliers, there is a design phase for the architects then. And at the end of the guidance phase, there is a principal note that must be approved by the board of the mayor and the alderman. And afterwards, we aren't responsible anymore for the last phase. So this is the assessment phase, and there the permit officer takes the lead to deliver the permit. Exceptional advisory there's just an advisory role for the City Atelier, where we can give some advices. So why do we need the City Atelier? We can see a lot of statements there, and I will explain some of them. So we need collaboration to anchor ambitions and objectives in the CAI district and potentially other transformation areas in the future after the value project. The City Atelier determines the direction in which a transformation area, so the CAI district right now, is moving and adjust when necessary. The City Atelier aims to qualitatively and consistently assess complex projects with all the involved departments of the city. The City Atelier forms an active guiding body that oversees very large projects, complex projects across different departments. And within the transformation areas, the city really wants to take the lead, especially in the CAI district here, because we don't any land or we don't own any area. So we have to negotiate sharply on investments in public spaces as well. As a City Atelier, we really want to support real estate developers. We are not at the opposite. So we have to think along with the real estate developer, facilitating cooperation between plots, for example, and present a clear vision as a unified city front, not totally different visions from different city departments. The City Atelier ensures a positive consensus informing the project owner or the real estate developer, so they don't need to consult every department individually. Predictability and time savings are crucial for the real estate developer. So for them, it's an advantage, and for us, it's an advantage. City Atelier wants to be solution oriented as well, with co-creative collaboration among the several departments. And we are also seeking consensus with the involved city departments, showing a clear supported position. And it's this consensus at the end of several City Ateliers, so from the discussions and so on within the City Atelier, that largely replaces the advisory request for the permits. That was the reason why I said formally that for us it's time saving as well, or it should be for the several city departments. So and another advantage for us is that there is an administrative simplification. So we have to, in this way, we should avoid very long advisory requests, reviews, etc., and ensuring continuity in the urban development projects.